what is mine, that is yours. You can't hold my lamb. Yes, I own my land. Stacking this paper, you know that I get it up. I can't be broke again. Talking that shit, then that Glocky gon' hit it up. Headshot, soak his man. My chopper get hot, just like a pan. Got the headlights, just like a ram. I got 10 toes and I counted 10 fingers. So I do not need a helping hand. Monopoly crib, I'm moving again. Got your bitch on me, she grooving again. More platinum again, I just give them a reason to hate. So my niggas shooting again. My coupe, my roof, drop that shit again. She suck my dick, then she mopped up my friend. No, we do not want to feel tooth again. When she let me go, I'm on the loose again. She on the molly, she tryna boot again. She ain't in mine, this girl is a lend. I prayed every time when I thought you sent. I write in my mind, I don't use a pen. She giving me time, my watch calls a lamb. Just give me more time, other watch calls a Benz. Look at Lil Uzi, he popping again. Them niggas, they switching, they hopping again. Look at them niggas, they hopping again. She giving that top and she slopping again. Look at this album, it's flopping again. Not taking a break, I'm not stopping again. Too much guap, bands, Bello, foreign, tan. She ignored that man, fucking with me, handstands. I can't lie, she got that good, but that girl, bad. I stay with her, back, make that girl dance. Let's go, yeah. What is mine, that is yours. You can't hold my lamb. Yes, I own my land. Stacking this paper, you know that I get it up. I can't be broke again. Talking that shit, then that Glocky gon' hit it up. Headshot, soak his man. Spent 100,000 on a brand new point on Choga. Automatic guns got a motor. I can feel that shit in my shoulder. Brand new watch costs a quarter, and you know it's flooded in water. You know every day I'm getting older, but I'm young enough for your daughter. And you know my neck is flooded in boulders. Getting money, yeah, that's my quota. Even though Lil Uzi getting older, know I'm young enough for your daughter. Every time I'm in my mind, I focus. She give me hypnosis. Talking about the love can't hold it. Talking about the guap can't fold it. Talking about your mind, no, you don't own it. Yeah, just take your time and gotta decode it. Yeah, it's on my mind and they just know it. Yeah, fast pace all the time. Yeah, I can't so much. Yeah, bands, Bello, foreign, tan. She ignored that man, fucking with me, handstand. I can't lie, she got that good, but that girl, bad. I stay with her, back, make that girl dance. Let's go, yeah. What is mine, that is yours. You can't hold my lamb. Yes, I own my land. Stacking this paper, you know that I get it up. I can't be broke again. Talking that shit, then that Glocky gon' hit it up. Headshot, soak his man.
Today, we're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns, our projected number 6 seed, and let's cash the squad rides. This is Behind the Lines. Well, Jovan, the Orioles have now lost 7 games in a row. What a fucking joke. 15-31, more than 15 games under 500. You just got swept by the Nats. I haven't seen the Nats sweep a team, let alone the Orioles, I don't think in my lifetime. I'm all for reading a good book in the off season when your fucking feet are in the sands and you don't have a baseball game to worry about. Mid-season when you got a 6 ERA, fucking lock in, buddy. Put the books down. Grab a baseball. Hit the fucking treadmill, Trevor.
Which the Cubs are a team where if you give them like a single-pronged approach, simple approach at the plate, they can only key in on one pitch, which with Mick Abel is exactly what you have to do. They have been demolishing those pitchers every single time they see it. They ain't stopping now. I'm buying in. We're seeing a shootout.
320 feet. I could hit a ball that far. I mean, when do we normalize celebrating pop-ups? Aaron Judge, typical me guy move. Hitting a nuke there instead of just putting the ball in play. And look, he didn't make the dimensions of the park, but he decided to play in them, and that shit pisses me off.
I got too much to live, no time to forget. New chrome, yeah, I got this shit on my head. You grown, shit, no, I don't got time for this. Alone, you just wanted something.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Wednesday, episode 733. Peace as always. Hold the fry, joined by our 2 hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you guys aren't using Bookit Sports and you're betting on sports every day, what are you doing? Start using Bookit Sports today on the App Store or Google Play. Whatever phone you got, they got an app on there for you. Check out Bookit. I promise once you do, you're going to use that puppy every day, just like me, just like Jovan, just like the rest of the Bookit squads. Check out Bookit. W's. What's up, chat? How we doing? Got a couple followers coming in. Love to see that. Sure. I got the YouTube up and moving too. Let's go ahead and hop right into it and get rid of the Moose shit recaps. Let's go ahead and hop in, do the squad ride, and Tigers and Cake.
Perfect. Head up. Should drop meat for the Marlins. It's a really bad try.
Should play. Mine was 2, though. Mine was 2. Let's check out the Sharp Report recap from yesterday as well. Not great. Bad, actually. Bad.
What to be done?
Man. Good call on Kolek. That was cake. Yep. And we can't be fading Brad Lord in the Big 2-5. I'll say it again.
Can't
be done.
Can't.
Nope. We
Ellie
got Ryan
wanted it,
Kinney coming in,
Gavin
dropping a
wanted it, nobody else
resub, though.
wanted it. Shout out
W
Ryan.
resub coming in. Yep. W Ryan. Is it okay if I call you Rye Guy? Sure. Let's go, Rye Guy. We got Ron Mux coming in, giving out a subby for the people as well. Ron, you're him. Rumor has it Ron's got a PLL Spaces going on tonight. Let's go, Ron. If it was anything like last week's, you're going to make some people some coins. Make sure you guys tune
Ron
in.
was busting last week.
Ron was mucking. What else is new? Right? Ron was mucking. Death taxes and Ron mucking clam. Yep. 10 hits, 1 run, Krabs. Yep. Nice, Pega. W's. Who else we got in here? We got Aherna. We got Ron Dope lurking. We got Vanis lurking. Who else is in here? Richie. I got the YouTube chat up and moving as well. We got Lucky Johnson over there. Sure we can. We got PN Lee's coming in. Let's go. Sure. Haven Hunter in the YouTube chat as well. Let's have a day. Let's cash the squad rides. We're going to talk a little football here in a second. We're going to talk Browns. We're going to talk our number 6 seeds, our projected number 6 seeds in the upcoming college football playoffs. And we're going to hop into the sharp report for today. So a lot to go over, guys. Let's have a day. Need early game reads? Well, they've already kind of all started up. So, we have some, games coming up here in like 40 minutes, Angels and Mets, and then the Royals and Cubs start up after BTL as well. So, we can get to those games before they start. We got plenty of time. All the other games are in action right now. We'll see if my Nats can sweep the Reds. It'd be a very Nats move to sweep another team over 500 and then lose to a shitty team next series. So we'll see how that one plays out. I got it up on the screen here. They're not losing yet. We'll see how it goes. We got Dayton Holter coming in hot. Sup, Goats? Was Corp yesterday, but still caught the Bengals talk. W Dayton. Appreciate you getting involved. Team comeback holding down the YouTube as well. He's saying high total with wind blowing out of Wrigley. Take the over. Tail as old as time. I'm not going to talk you off of it. Nope. Certainly would not talk you off of that. Okay. 69 nice in the YouTube as well. Good afternoon. W's. Appreciate you guys getting involved. Holding down the YouTube chat. All right. Why don't we dive in and talk a little bit about let's talk a little bit about some football. You ready? Maybe the most shit football team in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns.
Close.
The Cleveland Browns. Yeah, they're bad. We'll see how they end up being this year. Look, first thing they do is bring back Joe Flacco, which I just think the whole thing is hilarious because he was a Ravens legend. He also hates little kids and will not sign their jerseys unless it's a Flacco jersey, like we've already discussed. But pretty hilarious that they bring back Joe Flacco. They're sitting around a table. They're thinking, all right, we got all these QBs in here. We got rookie QBs. We got old QBs. We got shitty QBs. We got creepy QBs, right? We don't need to bring that up, but you guys can probably pick that one up. And now they got an old QB and Joe Flacco coming in. And I think Joe Flacco will be solid. He'll be solid for this team. I think Flacco and the Browns, will be a little bit better than people expect. But again, the ceiling is not very high with this team. I think their win total is pretty low. As you guys can see on the screen here, 5.5. But is that a little bit higher than we expected? Well, they weren't great last year. They were 3-14 last year. Oh, terrible. Jovan, are you surprised to see the total at 5.5, not 4.5 for this team this year?
No, not really. Because now they get the benefit of having the last place schedule. So that definitely helps out. And that's cooked into a lot of the win totals. Same reason, like, I guess a lot of the worst teams get higher ones is the same reason, like, a lot of people see the 49ers schedule and they're like, why is it so high after what they did last year? Well, it's because they have the easiest schedule in the league. So, like, a lot of those teams are the same.
Yeah. Maybe that'll help. Cannot forget this Browns team was 11-6 the year before, and that's probably why they had a little bit of a harder schedule last season. Now, you do have some coaches coaching for their livelihoods here this season, and the first thing they do is bring back Joe Flacco at the helm. We'll see how that works out. I honestly think it'll be a little bit better than people expect. They add Deontay Johnson, who's just not a good guy and does not really give a shit. So we'll see how that one works out. But they still have, Jerry Jeudy up and moving, who's coming off a career season. I'm not even trying to get cute and fading that guy. He's coming off of like a 1,200-yard season. We'll see what he ends up doing this year. He's a little bit lower than that projected, but they've got a couple options. Maybe David Njoku can stay healthy, and they got Harold Fannin up and moving as well. 2 solid tight ends. We'll see what happens with those 2 guys, one vet and one rookie. And they have a plethora of QBs and running backs. I don't really know what they're building over there, but they got options. That's for sure. And they're going to probably start out with Joe Flacco. Probably start out with Jerome Ford as the starting RB. But again, I think this is going to be a three-headed snake in the backfield here with Keenshawn Judkins, Dylan Sampson, and Jerome Ford. Who knows? Maybe even see Pierre Strong up and moving there as well. They got plenty of depth in the RB room. Now, Jovan, did they add enough on defense? Because I'm not seeing enough pieces that were really added. Maybe the defense wasn't really the issue in the first place. They're always pretty solid as well. Is this team going to be good enough to be a hair better than they were last season?
Yeah, I mean, the defense has never really been the issue, I guess, in recent years for them. The defense is always solid. They have great cover corners, really solid front seven, obviously, especially when they're all healthy. So the defense isn't really the issue. I think last year it got blown a little bit out of proportion how bad they were at times because the offense was just putting them in horrible positions game after game after game. So that taxes the defense as a whole a bit, especially, again, when you get to the parts of the season where a bunch of guys are injured and not able to play or playing at half strength or whatever it may be. So I think the defense will be just fine. I think the more interesting storyline is the offense, not just because, like, at this point, who the fuck's going to start a quarterback for how long of the season? It's pretty much set in stone. We're going to see at least 2, maybe 3 quarterbacks for the entirety of the 17 games. But there seems to be a heavy emphasis with everything they're talking about. Like, you hired Tommy Rees, shout out Goots, for a little innovation on the offense, but they're talking about like playing a lot faster, playing with pace, which I think that's one of the reasons why it definitely feels like there's going to be multiple quarterbacks throughout the season, because they're not doing without Flacco all year. But I'm interested to see how it plays out, and I kind of think it might be playing out pretty well, even if they're not out there winning 6 games.
Okay. I think it will be Flacco. Let's just
It'll
talk
be Flacco
about it.
to start.
I think it'll be Flacco to start, middle, and finish. Is that a crazy take? I think it's Flacco's year. I think Flacco has magical powers in a Browns uniform. Let's not forget he won Comeback Player of the Year in this uniform 2 years ago. Looks like his career was rejuvenated. It bought him another couple contracts as well. I'm liking what I'm picking up here with Flacco. Kevin Stefanski back against the wall. He brings in a veteran who knows the offense, a veteran who, he's not, winning the games probably on his own, or he's not, throwing crazy passes down the field. He's no Jaden Daniels, but he's consistent, he's reliable, and maybe a team with a solid defense, that's really all they need. They got a bunch of RBs. I'm kind of buying into Flacco here. David Njoku is his guy, another veteran who's going to feed, who's going to absolutely grub if he can stay healthy this season. I'm kind of buying in. And my best bet for this Browns team, we can get to it and just talk about it. We can cut the shit and get right to it here. Most regular season passing yards for the Cleveland Browns. I'm going Joe Flacco, who, by the way, is at plus chicken. Everybody for this bet is at plus chicken. Joe Flacco is the favorite. After all the Kenny Pickett talk in the offseason, Joe Flacco is the favorite for this right now. All the Shador talk, they got a million QBs. They got too many QBs. What are they doing with all these QBs? Who knows? Dylan Gabriel involved as well. These guys are getting disrespected with their odds here. I'm not seeing it. I think Flacco, unless he gets hurt, which is obviously definitely a concern, he's very old. Unless he gets hurt, it's his job this whole season. If Stefanski had a timeline of a couple years to rebuild this team, it'd be one thing. Maybe you see Flacco stink it up or not really moving the needle, and you see them make a couple of QB changes. Stefanski can't afford that. He's got to go with his best option to win every fucking game, or he's getting canned. Plain and simple. I think it's Flacco. And I'll take the bait here. Who the hell wants to bet on Joe Flacco, who's the favorite in this category? Everybody wants to take the shiny new toys. They want to take Kenny Pickett, who's a veteran who people are now talking about on the feed like he's good for some reason because his record is above 500 in games he started. And give me a fucking break. Watch him play QB. Is that passing the eye test? No. He stinks. Flacco, a little bit better, a little bit more consistent, a little bit more reliable. I think he's got one more year in him. He's aging like a fine wine. Some could say maybe he's just as good as he was in a Ravens uni, and it was the team around him in Baltimore that really carried the weight there too. So I'm buying into Flacco. I'm taking him at plus 165 to have the most passing yards for a Cleveland Brown QB in the Big 2-5, and we'll see how it goes. But unless he gets hurt, I think it's his job the whole season.
Definitely could not disagree more with that. But I still think regardless of how many games you see the other quarterbacks play, especially if it ends up being 3 different quarterbacks, God forbid 4, this still could be a good bet because the games that Flacco's going to be in there, he's going to be slinging it. So I feel like his ceiling per game is obviously a lot higher than the other quarterbacks will be, even though like he's going to have a lot tougher matchups. Because the reason I think they're going to him early is not just because they want the veteran who's done it before for this team 2 years ago to do it. But it's also because they opened the season Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions, Vikings, Steelers. And then second half of their schedule eases up significantly. But as they're trying to figure out an identity for the offense, you probably don't want to do that with a rookie / Kenny Pickett against those teams. So I get that. And I do think he's going to be slinging. So I don't know if you need him to have the job all year for this to hit.
I think the Browns will be a little bit better than people expect. I think they keep one QB when everybody's expecting them to play all 4 or shit, maybe even 5 if Deshaun Watson comes back. I think he keeps the job. I think Flacco keeps the job for a year. I think Stefanski does enough to keep his job as well. I think they win 6 or 7 games. They shock the world, which for them is like winning 12 games for another NFL team with how bad they were last season. So I'm kind of buying into Stefanski back against the wall. He's making a move. I don't think he's doing it for no reason. I think Flacco's this guy this season. I'll take him at plus 165. Okay?
I can see it.
Now, I want to hear about David Njoku here because, look, if he could stay healthy, if Flacco can stay healthy, that's going to be his guy. 2 veterans just feasting, grubbing down the field.
Yeah, and especially like I'm at least with you. I think it's going to be Flacco's job to start, and he's been his guy. Like the numbers he put up, which Amari Cooper had great numbers with Flacco too at the time, because Flacco was just absolutely slinging rock. I think that was along the period where Amari Cooper had like the 250-yard game against the Texans, whenever that was. But Njoku, when he's been in this offense, has been his guy. So when Flacco's behind center, especially early in the season, I think he's going to feed him heavy. But the direction of this Browns offense, I think it's not a coincidence that they just drafted Harold Fannin, because I think on the surface you would see that like this is a Njoku contract year, which is another, I guess, narrative that I kind of like for that. I don't think he's going to play his way or is playing his way on a different team, though, because you got to remember Tommy Rees is the new play caller now, or I don't know if he's technically calling plays, but he's the OC now. His history, even dating back to Notre Dame, is developing tight ends. He was the tight ends coach for the Browns as well. If you remember, like back in Notre Dame, his like specialty was developing guys like Tommy Tremble and like Meyer too. And like he's been working with all the tight ends, including Njoku himself, for the last year now. So I think this is big for him to have like whatever flexibility in this offense, tight end wise, going forward that you want. So there's that. I also think Fannin is not really limited to a tight end role because he's kind of small. I think they'll put him out wide a lot more than people think. But the key of this offense seems to be everything revolves around what they're saying is like they want quick reads and they want to go with pace. And funny enough, like a lot of the reason I can't really buy into Joe Flacco doing this all year, because if you think about quick reads and playing a up-tempo style offense, it can completely coincides with not just the fact that Joe Flacco's old, but you know who's known for running an offense with those same exact reads his entire career in college at multiple places, who's been really, really good in camp, and I've heard them slurping time after time? Dylan Gabriel. I think you're going to see sooner rather than later, depending on the Pickett situation. But regardless of what happens, like if you're going to run an up-tempo style offense with a tight end guy running it, who's going to be your underneath option, whether it's Flacco, whether it's Gabriel, whether it's Shedeur, whether it's Pickett? It's going to be your tight end. That is a yak machine. So David Njoku, I think, in a contract year, even if they end up, I kind of have a feeling they're going to get this extension done maybe before the season, but at least like some point mid-season, assuming he stays healthy. Contract year, he goes nuts.
Could be the difference. Backing him in a contract year, he's trying to get paid. Honestly, hope he doesn't get paid until middle or the end of the season, so he can go out there and prove himself.
Yeah.
Right? Sure. David Njoku, stay healthy, and he'll go out there and do yop. Should be getting fed plenty, knock on wood, in the Big 2-5. All right. W. Tommy Rees, a tight ends guy. Sure he can. Only Notre Dame fans know that shit. Great pull, Jovan. Great pull. All right.
Crazy that he has
let's move on.
Calling plays for team in this economy, but different conversation.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Right. Keep it simple. Keep it simple for this offense. If you try to get too cute, they're going to suck, and it's going to show. So keep it simple for these guys, and who knows what'll happen. They'll win with their defense anyway. So yeah, a little bit of stock up on the Browns, but nothing to write home about. Nothing crazy enough. Not taking them to make the playoffs. It's not like when I said the Vikings could win their division last year when they were getting, mad disrespect as the clear 4th team in the division, and then they end up doing it. Not get any vibes like that. Just think they'll be a hair better than people expect. Buy low on the Browns a little bit, and pick your spots, week to week. We'll see how it goes with the QB switch. Okay. All right. Who is worse, the Browns or the Jets? I don't know, man.
Browns. I'd say the Browns only because like the quarterback situation is. I don't even know how to describe it because like I don't know if they feel a lack of confidence necessarily because like you have Flacco for however long you need him. Maybe you use Pickett for a while and then you have your choice of two guys like for the future. It's just like this year navigating that seems like a bitch.
Yeah. Do you think we see Deshaun Watson in the Big 2-5?
I'm going to say there's probably as good a chance he steps on the field as I do.
Wow. That probably means his playing career is over then.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I think we see Deshaun Watson at some point this season. I think that's who ends up getting the keys passed to, not Flacco at some point, if it's anybody. And I think it's the rookie QBs who keep learning and Kenny Pickett being a backup like he should be. But we'll see how it plays out. Pickett's getting a lot of talk, having a great, spring camp. Guys had 7-on-7s, no defense at all. Like, let's not look into the stats like they matter.
Yeah. He's interesting, though, because, like, if he stays on the roster, they've also mentioned a bunch of times and, like, reading through what they want in the offense, they want to play faster, but they also want to take care of the ball. It's like Flacco slings the rock, but he's kind of been a turnover machine when he's, like, had to sling the rock. Kenny Pickett is not, like, ceiling's not as high for him, but he at least knows how to take care of the ball for the most part. He's got, like, the least turnover-worthy plays per down of, like, any quarterback they've had in the last handful of years. So I wonder if that's in the back of their heads, but there also is a chance that he's somewhere else by the time the season starts too.
Did he tear his Achilles again, though? So he's extra barbecue chicken cooked. Yeah, he got hurt again. He's not even going to be ready by the beginning of the season. It'll be a midseason type of thing. We'll see what happens. Deshaun Watson. You think I should drop him off my dynasty team? Is he just taking up a spot?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what you're keeping him for. Even if he comes back, I mean, is he really an asset at that point?
Paying him a lot of money not to try again, in my opinion. We'll see. Very curious to see what happens with him and this Browns QB room. We got Dakota in the YouTube. Krabs Fetty done with the cards. Yeah, he's terrible. He is bad. Dog shit. Yep. Long overdue. He turned back into Nats Fetty form. It's crazy. The KBO aura wore off pretty quick for Eric Fetty as soon as he came back to the States. Maybe he's just not a good pitcher. Reds bangs. Oh, that's not good. Okay.
And Soroka
now Soroka's hitting guys.
Second batter of the game.
Say that again?
Said he's hitting his second batter of the game already.
Damn.
3 walks.
Soroka's looked a little bit off. And now they're going to go talk to him. He looks a little off. I don't know what's going on. His velo's down. He might be hurt. All of our trade baits getting hurt. Not ideal.
That's juju.
Yeah, Curio. We might be seeing Eric Fetty back in the KBOs. We might be.
Yeah, he might go. He should go to Mexico with Bauer.
I thought Bauer was over in Japan. No?
Oh, yeah, yes. He was in Mexico, I guess, last year.
A little bit.
He's like moving different countries every year.
Yeah. He was in Mexico last year, and I think he was Psy. Then he went to Japan, and now he has like the worst ERA.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Certainly.
E-Dub. No Nats week is going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough.
Dude,
you guys are blessed, though, next week.
I can't wait. I hope there's some massive trade.
I mean, there's going to be multiple. Josh Bell for maybe Roman Anthony. He's probably worth the number one prospect.
All right, Krabs.
Krabs going to forget one time. If I forget, I got to do $50 giveaways. I think that was part of the bit.
It's $50 for every mention. I'm going to keep you on your table. I'm going to keep them on your toes.
I know I need to get like a little Krabs Nats jar going. Or if I say something, I got to throw $50 in the fucking jar and then give it away. You guys might get rich next week. Yeah, Aaron Judge to the Nats for James Wood, and that's it because they're both equal. Sure. I could see it. If they want to win, they probably want to add some pieces from the Nats. Certainly want to get rid of that fake cop, Aaron Judge, from that lineup. Guy doesn't win. Clear as day. All right, let's move. Let's groove. Let's talk about some college football. Let's talk our projected number 6 seed in the college football playoffs.
Number 6, Krabs.
Well, when you win the ACC, you're not going to be 12. You're going to be number 6. Yep. Georgia Tech, Yellow Jackets. I'm all in. All in on Haynes King. All in on the Haynes Squad. Could just call them the Haynes Squad. Jamal Haynes, Haynes King, whatever Haynes it is. I don't give a shit. They're going to be good this year again. I like what I'm seeing out of Georgia Tech. And after back-to-back 7-win seasons, and again, they closed the season out very strong last year. I like their momentum. I know they lost a pretty good receiver, but they brought one in as well, and Eric Rivers, coming over from Memphis after an 1,100-yard season. I'm excited about this Georgia Tech team, and any Georgia Tech fan should be excited too. I like the pieces they brought in on defense as well. A bunch of graduate transfers coming in to start on defense. They got Matthew Alexander. They got Ronald Triplets. You got Jai Gilmore coming in as well at corner. Those are 3 redshirt seniors coming in from the portal right away that are going to start plug and play. And their defense was already solid at times last year. Although we know how they're going to win games. It's Haynes King, their QB, who I think is extremely underrated. And in his senior season, I think the sky's the limit for this team. And let's not act like their schedule is an absolute cupcake factory. It's the easiest schedule I've seen by far, besides a game against Clemson. I think they lose that game against Clemson. It's one of their few losses of the season. Then they beat Clemson in the ACC championship. That's what I'm seeing for this Georgia Tech squad. That's why I have them as my number 6 seed in the upcoming college football playoffs. You're going to see a new squad getting involved in the Big 2-5. It's Georgia Tech. I like their momentum. Their defense is solid enough, and their offense is going to carry the weight here with the Haynes squad, Haynes duo. I'm buying in, Jovan. In a moosh at ACC, when everybody's taking Clemson, as they probably should, at +105, that's crazy odds for them as well. Some serious respect for Dabo and co. I see it, but not as much as others. I like Clemson. We'll talk about them in a moment or in a couple days when we get to them for me. But I like Georgia Tech, and I think they have a crazy season in the Big 2-5. They lose to Clemson in the regular season, and they get their leg back, and they beat them in the championship. That's what I'm seeing, and that's my best bet for Georgia Tech in the Big 2-5, a value play, if you will. Georgia Tech to win the ACC at +13 hundo. Crazy value on the Yellow Jackets. I'm buying in on Haynes and Haynes.
Haynes of Haynes.
Yep.
I'm with you. I think they're going to be better. Somebody said it in chat. It does feel maybe a little fool's goldy after that Georgia game. I feel like that's the only time the world watched Georgia Tech all year. Was that one game.
Well, as an ACC guy, I watch all the games.
I know. This is not a you thing. This is a everybody thing. So they're all high on him because they watched the one game where Haynes King was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. He was great. So we'll see. The ACC is moose, and thankfully they avoid some of the better teams not named Clemson. So the path is out there.
Let's go through their schedule real quick.
You got no SMU, no Miami, which is
it starts out perfectly. They go to Colorado. That's a win on the road.
Is it though?
It is, but it also doesn't matter if it's not because they're winning the ACC and that's how they're getting in.
Yeah.
Gardner-Webb's a win. They played Clemson right off the rip. That's probably a Clemson statement win there on the road for Clemson, but let's not act like that game is not going to be tough for the Tigers coming into town. That's a big game for Georgia Tech.
You know what the
Temple.
biggest L in that game is? The fact that it's at 11 a.m.
Oh. Yeah, why is that game not flexed? Interesting.
If that was a night game, I'd have so much higher hopes for Georgia Tech in that game.
Yeah, it's interesting. They play Temple. That should be a cupcake. They play at Wake Forest. That better be a win. They play the Hokies, who somehow beat them last year. Riddle me that one. The Hokies beat them.
I feel like the Hokies just play Georgia Tech well.
They do. They do.
I'm worried about that.
But I'll tell you right now, they're getting their lick back at home against the Hokies. I've already seen that. That's a win right there. And they play Duke on the road. That's not an easy game against Mensa. But Duke's another team that's getting gassed up as well.
They are. But that's also Duke off a bye.
Wow.
That might be a trap game of cinch.
Basketball school. Not worried. They play Syracuse, who's a shell themselves in the Big 2-5. They lost everybody. Their team's going to stink. They play NC State, who's atrocious. They have a solid QB, but besides that, they got nothing. They play at Boston College. They're a shell themselves as well. They play Pitt. They play Georgia to close out the season. See a lot of winnable games in there. Besides the Clemson game and besides the Georgia game, I see 10 wins potentially.
So winnable games. Schedule's not that bad. I don't know if I see 10, but I can definitely get with you and see an 8.
20-plus NFL players, Krabs. People forget 2024 VT. I'm trying to forget, Stanley. But then it keeps getting brought up again. I'm trying to forget. Dogod, tell me the Badgers go to Bama and win the biggest upset of the year. I'm not seeing it, Dogod, but I appreciate it.
I'm not seeing that. Not seeing that there.
Seeing it. Are the Knowles going to be Moose again? I think the Knowles will be better, actually, but we have not brought them up yet, and we might not.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be as Moose, which is a super low bar.
Yeah. Yep.
Kind of warmed up to Tommy C talking shit a little bit. He's kind of putting he's putting a target on their back for the Bama game, which is, not ideal. They're probably going to get their shit pumped in that game, but I guess he said it like, dude, this program was in rat shit like last year. I'm trying to shake something up, trying to get them buzzed to do a little something. So I get that.
It doesn't mean you just say the stupidest thing to get another team to want to beat the crap out of you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it's just like, what else are you going to do? Lay over? Like, if he would have done like a little more team and less me, I would have been super excited about it. Don't like that. They're probably going to get their shit railed again, but for the rest of the season, maybe get some buzz a little bit.
And I agree, Devils are rock chalk. Judge is only good because of the short porch. Yes. Great. Keep putting chats like that.
Sneak that in there.
Keep putting those chats.
Judge and his most memorable homer in Paw Patrol.
Yep. People forget he did. Or the rare home runs when the game was tied, when they were not, either winning by 5 or losing by 5. Rare. Okay. All right. I want to see Jovan's projected number 6 seed in the upcoming college football playoffs. Wow. OH.
Buckeyes. You talked about. And talked about it yesterday, so I don't need to go over it too much, but just looking through like the schedule, I'm not like, I don't want to say the biggest sand guy. Like I'm buying in like as much as I'm buying into some of the other younger and newer quarterbacks, I guess, in all of college football. But I think Ohio State's going to be here. Just looking up and down their schedule, you can get me, I guess, on a toss-up with Texas to start the year, even though it's in Ohio State. I'm not quite with you there that Arch is going to go in there and win, but I can hear that out. But other than that, rest of the schedule, there's not many other spots I want to be on the opposite side of Ohio State. Like, obviously, the team's incredibly talented. There's not many teams in the Big Ten that are going to give them like a stark challenge other than like the obvious spots in their schedule where you're playing Penn State in Columbus, you're getting your lick back probably against Michigan. Everybody thinks Illinois is going to be great. That'll be a tougher game on the road, but we know how that goes every single time. There's the new buzzy team that everybody thinks is going to beat or challenge Ohio State. Never goes well. Probably won't there either. And I don't really like Illinois as much, but this team's talented, man. Like, nothing's really changed. You're losing a bunch of NFL talent, sure, but you've reloaded at every single position almost near the same level. So I think it's going to be more of the same from this Ohio State team, maybe with a little less in the back end come playoff time, but can't really ask for much, I guess, easier of a situation if you're Julian saying. It's similar to like what Will Howard had last year. You lose Chip Kelly as a play caller, sure, but you get Brian Hartline, who's from the same tree, going to be running the same pretty much exact offense, and he's also been there working with the wide receivers now for even longer, of course. So you have a wide receiving core, not only with the best wide receiver in all of college football and Jeremiah Smith, but a guy that's going to slot in and I think give you Emeka Egbuka type production and Carnell Tate there too. And then you bring in like Max Clare from Purdue, super talented tight end. So like the offense, as much as like I don't want to say Sand's going to be as good as even like Will Howard slotting in at that spot, because Will Howard's at least like a veteran who just kind of knows or knew how to operate the offense. It's not like you have to do all that much, especially with most of their schedule. So they'll be there. I have a feeling they like lose a tiebreak or something again to or in a tiebreak for like the Big Ten championship. So we'll see if they get there, but I think they'll be right up here. Number 6 could segue right into the best bet because kind of just alluded to it. Carnell Tate is going to be a dog. We saw what all of the top teams did when it came to bracketing Jeremiah Smith, and you can bet your ass like Texas, Penn State, Michigan are all going to do the same relative things with making sure Jeremiah Smith is not the one to beat them. And Carnell Tate, like, you can't really sleep on him either because I think he's got, again, the same like talent level production that Emeka Egbuka gave you last year. I think he's going to be just as good. But Carnell Tate's going to have all the opportunity in the world, both like in situations where you're playing the top teams and they're kind of making you be the one to beat them, but also in the, I guess, lower tier games where you're just able to win every one-on-one matchup like we saw a lot of last year, even when he was the third option of that offense, even like fourth sometimes when he really shouldn't have been. So Carnell Tate is surely my guy for Ohio State this year.
He might be him. Could be next up. I see it. I'm not as high, I guess I do like the Buckeyes. I'm about as high on them as you are, but yeah, we'll see if they can run it back. It's never easy to run it back after you just win a championship, but
no,
I'm just not a Ryan Day guy, but with wallets that fat, they should be back in the dance again, right? I don't think there's going to be any, Ohio State not in the college football playoffs. I think that would be a little bit of a crazy hot take, maybe too hot.
Yeah, I mean, with that, realistically, like in this era with that program, they're always going to have a roster that gets paid enough and that they pay for enough that they should be in the playoff every single year. It's not even a question.
We got that boy Co coming in, dropping a resub. That a boy. Pete Crow Fantasy, he said. Sure. Let's check in on some of these games going on right now. We got the Nats losing 1-0. We got the Marlins up 1-0. 0-0 in San Fran, Atlanta. Wow. Verlander got out of that bases loaded jam. Sure. And then 1-0 for the Pirates with the bases loaded, though. All right. Jovan, any other comments, thoughts, bets, honorable mentions for the Ohio State Buckeyes this year? Or are you just sticking with Carnell Tate?
Sticking with Tate.
Sure. All right. I hope this QB is pretty good for the Buckeyes. I'm sure he is if he went to Bama initially and now he's at Ohio State. Should be pretty solid, right? Saying you're buying into him?
I mean, as much as you can, I guess. Right. It's more of this team is so talented around him that it really doesn't matter. Like, I think Ohio State, if he is ceiling of what they think he possibly could be, like they can obviously win a national title. If he's not, if he's just average, I think they can be right where they are right now in like the 6th seed of a college football playoff. That's like more of my reasoning behind everything. The team's just so good around him. And again, like situationally, the schedule outside of facing like a super tough Texas team that you do get in Columbus week 1, situationally, the rest of the schedule just matches up, I mean, perfectly. Like, toughest situational game is on the road against Illinois. Like, you're getting Penn State to come to your house. You're getting, like, you got to go to the big house, obviously, but I think we both are in agreement that they're getting their lick back on them for the first time in a couple of years. So I feel confident about them going in and doing that. So that's, I don't know. There's not too many question marks that scare me a lot, no matter how good he is.
And we got a Jolly Slam, folks. Spencer Horwitz, Pirates up 5-0.
Wow. Look at the Jollies.
All right. You guys ready to talk about some baseball?
You know where Horwitz is from?
Let me take a wild fucking guess here, dudes. Maryland.
It's just.
Damn right.
It's just unbelievable.
You're going to make me start hating my own home state, dudes. It's impressive. All right. I'm not even going to ask where he's from in Maryland because I really do not give 2 shits. Let's move. Let's groove. Let's talk about the Sharp Report for today, huh? Stay focused. Stay dialed in, chat. A couple first fivers for the peeps. Go back to my roots here. After a couple mid performances, how about a couple first fivers? Start out with a first 5 under 5 in the Twins and the Dodgers game. A lot of talk out of Glasnow of late. Glasnow talking like he needs more vacation time when the guy misses half the MLB season every year. I don't really get that, but he's catching a lot of flack for his comments.
It's kind of a good point, though.
How he could place him. Well, I disagree with this point.
I agree with him so much, Krabs. So much.
I cannot disagree more. You signed up to do it. You're paid millions. Just go fucking do it. Quit yapping. Plain and simple. Yeah, I'm tired of hearing players bitch about, the workloads. Brother,
it's just like
to play, you're getting paid millions.
It's smart, Krabs. And you're not really signing up to play. You're getting selected to play. It's just like, I want guys to pitch in the All-Star game. Like, I want that. And the fact that there's really no break in the All-Star break kind of kills it. It makes all of this like I've never seen more players like opt out because they need a little rest for the rest of the season until this season, or that we saw this year. You're probably going to keep seeing more of that because, like, what break do you have? Like, you play Sunday if you're in the Derby and the All-Star game, like junior, you're playing Monday, Tuesday. Like, you got Wednesday, you're one day off / travel back, and then Thursday is the day for the other of that. You're already playing.
I think it's soft as shit. I really do.
I think you
What
should
else do they need?
make it a whole week. They
What's
got
next? Everybody takes a bullpen cart?
I mean, dude, they take a 162 game season.
He gets 3 months off a year.
Right message, wrong messenger. I agree with that comment. But like it should be they're playing baseball from February to, I mean, if you're the Dodgers, until October. Like, what's an extra couple days going to kill you? Because the part that's annoying is the fact that they're not giving them like the weekend. Has nothing to do with like them wanting to stay on schedule. They just don't want to give away all of the TV deals a weekend series. They've said this like publicly. They don't want to give away a weekend series in the summer for all of the TV contracts. Like that's stupid.
You know what else is stupid? Complaining when you're a millionaire about your job. Stupid. Stupid and dumb. And the guy's off half the season anyways because he's always hurt. I don't know what he's bitching about and what he needs more rest for. And it's not like these guys are sitting on the couch for a week. Let's say that were to happen. And you have a whole week off instead of half a week. Oh, that's a huge difference. It's not like they're sitting on their ass, not pitching, not throwing bullpens. Make that one inning you go in the All-Star game, your bullpen sesh. I don't get it. It's not like they're sitting around not doing shit for a week. That's how you get hurt. It's mid-season. They're still throwing. They're still working out. Just make that one inning part of your fucking workout. Plan around it. If you don't want to be a me guy and you care about the All-Star game and the products, and go out there and fucking do it. It's one inning you're asking for. It'd be like asking a guy to play for one drive in the NFL, in the Pro Bowl. If you did that, people would actually fucking tune in and watch it. It's soft as shit.
It's not just like the physical part of it too. It's like you're locked in to a 162 game season from February until at the very least September, possibly October if you're making that run. What's like a mental reset for a couple of days is great.
I don't get it. I don't feel bad for those guys. I think it's absolutely soft, and it's the problem with people that age who just don't want to work.
3 days, Krabs.
And he's acting like 3 days makes a huge difference. Just go out there and fucking pitch.
It does. It makes a huge difference.
I don't get it. All right. Well, I think he's catching a lot of flack on the feed, not just from me, but other people are pissed as well. And I think he goes out there and, in a contrarian way, I'll go and back him today. I think he shoves after hearing all this bitching about his comments the other day. I think he goes out there and absolutely shoves. He goes out there and has the start of his lifetime. I do. And I also think we're going to see Paddock pitch pretty well, too, if you go look at some of his prospect squares. I don't think he gets mucked up either. After we saw a bazillion runs in this game yesterday, I think the daytime Dodgers strike again. They might not win. They're not going to score, though, and that's what this bet needs. A first 5 under. Glasnow goes out there and does yob. Dodgers bats probably stay quiet till later on in this game because they're still asleep. Daytime Dodgers are always a fade. I think Paddock goes out there and does enough. I'll back them both to go out there and shove through 5 innings. Give me the first 5 under 5.
I feel like you're a sneak Paddock guy.
I like Paddock. I do. I don't like his 5.14 ERA, but I like his stuff up there.
Yeah,
I do.
Fair.
I think he goes out there and does enough. I'm seeing 2-1 through 5 innings here, and a nice easy first 5 under.
Certainly.
All right. We got Props and Chops up and moving. He's resubbing for 18 months. Oi, Props and Chops, you're him. Appreciate you coming in and getting involved. Okay? All right. Let's go to your play since everybody's just pissed about my hot takes. Let's go to your play and see what you're crafting up today.
Red Sox team total over 3.5. This one might not make much sense to, I guess, the untrained eye. Partially because, I guess you would kind of expect something from me after they just got shut out yesterday by Christopher Sanchez. They've been getting dominated by a bunch of lefties for, I guess, the past month. If you look at a pretty short sample size, even though, they're still a top 10 team in all of baseball against lefties over the full sample size of the year. But Christopher Sanchez shoved yesterday, a complete game, 1 run, and I think that run was a Ref Snyder home run in the first inning. So they didn't do anything for a majority of the game. They looked awful. Even dating back to this past weekend, they faced Shota, and he had a shutout against them, and I think he went 6 or 7 strong. So they've been getting dominated by a lot of lefties, even though they haven't faced too many of them. So I've been seeing on the feed which some is right, some is not. A lot of strikeouts for Luzardo. He's a big-time strikeout pitcher. The Red Sox, regardless of how well they've been doing at different points of the season against lefties, they've still struck out a shit ton. That hasn't really changed, but I think they're better against lefties than people realize, one. Two, if I look at a lot of the pitchers they've really struggled against, sure, they're striking out a little bit. That's been their MO really for both sides of the plate. So that really doesn't change anything in my head. But Christopher Sanchez and Shota couldn't be two more different pitchers if you look at them just on a baseline. Because like Christopher Sanchez, a lot of sinkers, big-time ground ball guy. They hit a lot into the ground yesterday, but they also struck out a shit ton. And a lot of that was on his changeup, which is one of the nastiest, most underrated pitches in baseball. Shota, big-time fly ball guy, throws a ton of fastballs. What's the same between the two? Shota has a splitter. So it's like the splitter changeup thing that I think they really, really struggle with. Even if you go like further into some other pitchers they've struggled with that are different level of pitchers, like Kyle Freeland, who even like used his changeup a little bit and gave them fits, the highest usage he's had of it all season. Like Mitchell Parker doesn't really have that. And what do you know? They lit him up. Look at some of the lefties like Tyler Anderson pitched really well against them. He has a changeup. He's a big-time changeup pitcher. But once they see guys that are a little different from that, especially if they're fly ball guys that don't have a changeup, they've done really well. And I think this is another, I guess, episode of that today, which Luzardo, knock on wood, I've kind of had a good inkling of when to back him and to fade him this year. I think coming off of that complete game near shutout, I guess not near shutout because they got to run super, super early, but 8 scoreless innings that he proceeded with after that. I think this is the perfect time to get Luzardo rocked after a not so good start against the Angels. I don't think it's a bounce back for him.
Okay. People in chat are asking, was the Georgia Tech preview earlier today or was it yesterday? It was earlier today, Patrick. You can go back and rewatch on the YouTube the link that Pega just dropped. W's. All right. Love that team total over. Great fucking sell job. I'm seeing runs in that game too, but preferably from the Red Sox because I got a fade we're going to talk about here in a moment that would go against the over in the game, but I like it.
Yeah.
I
really wanted to just sack up and take Sox ML plus Chick, but I don't really know. I'm scared of their bullpen a lot.
Yeah.
Plus, obviously, since Sanchez threw a complete game, the Phillies can do whatever they want with their bullpen. So I'm a little worried about that, but I think to win the game. I was also hoping I could get like plus 4.5 for like plus Chick. It's like the 3.5 is like minus 130, but I'll live with what I got.
Okay. All right. Jovan, a guy asked if you don't have problems with Brandon Innis because of your season square.
No.
Okay. Are the Brewers a World Series contender for real? God, a lot of ball game left. We'll see. But if they have this same mojo and they're playing like this in the playoffs, they're going to be tough to beat. We'll see. Kind of giving me Team of Destiny vibes. We always talk about it.
Yeah.
There's typically one wagon and one, just red hot team in the World Series. Maybe
I'll say I think kiss of death for any team in baseball, especially the last couple of years, seems to be a July run. Any team that gets like, look at all the World Series champions from the past handful of years. How many of them had a July run? There's not many. So like Brewers, Jays, all of these teams that are on insanity runs. It's cool. It's just that's never historically amounted to very much.
Nats might be one. They're an anomaly, though.
Yeah. I feel like that's the sore thumb in the history of the last like 20 years.
Okay. Are we fading Rhea coming off his legacy run? Billy the Kid's asking. I like the over in that game.
I would love to.
It's just otherwise.
It's a windy game. I just take a look at the Royals lineup and tell me how excited you'd be.
Yeah.
Fade Rhea.
Total back down to 10 as well. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that total with that lineup, it's definitely going to go down. It's just like, God, that lineup is so much shit, man. So much shit.
Krabs, why no Jays? Oh, Dead Larry Bird. Good to see somebody on the Yankees stepped up last night and hit a go-ahead home run. You knew it wasn't going to be Judge because he
Ben
very
Rice.
rarely does that. I can count on one
Goated.
hand the amount of go-ahead home runs he's hit in his career. Ben Rice was a solid ball player coming through and helping out your Yanks. Sure.
I don't know how much better they'd be if they let Ben Rice play every day.
Well, then their defense would be quell shut. You'd have to catch him a lot, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could. Judge is not like that much of a liability in right field. I know they want to keep him healthy, but he's fine. Plus, he can also play first. Goldie is just ass. I don't know why we're still pretending he's good at this age, but there's something you could do.
Yeah, Volpe might be toast.
I mean,
Volpe might be bad at baseball.
He's really bad.
Yep. He might be bad. All right. Well, yeah, he was. Goldschmidt was hot, Pega, and now he's kind of cooled off. His average is still at like 290 though, which is crazy. But
yeah, he was like red hot to begin the year. Then right before the All-Star break, he hit like 090 for a month and a half.
Yep. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. We got some other straight bets to get to here. We'll come back to that guards ML. How about another first 5 under? Oh, God. I was good yesterday, and I stayed off of it. Cannot resist today. Eflin in the rotation for the O's. And I believe it is...
Slate's
why am I blanking on his name? Sissoni. These guys fucking stink. There's been 1 million runs in the series so far. You know, I got to get nasty with a little contrarian under in this game, but I'll isolate. I'll keep the rat shit bullpen out of it for the O's, and I'll keep the Guardians bullpen out of it too, and I will go first 5 under, and I'll back Zach Eflin. Pray for me, Goots. And I'll back Sissoni against that O's lineup after a bazillion runs in the series so far. 2 straight overs in the series so far. Thought it was weird seeing the juice shifting towards the under 8.5 in this game. Something smells fishy. I think we can squeak by with another first 5 under 4.5 here. And if you take a peep at Prize Picks, you'd see both starting pitchers up for some pretty weird squares. You'd see Zach Eflin up there for a disgusting earned run square, if it's still even up. Let me check the Carfax. Oh, it is. 2.5 after he's given up 17 runs in his last 3 starts combined. 17 runs. Could not be a greener chart. Looks terrible, just like the last 2 for the Orioles starting pitchers, Suganu and Brandon Young. Both had charts just like this, and they both were cake, to be completely honest with you guys, like to be transparent. Now we're buying back in, though. Sat out yesterday. Shit was cake. We also have Sissoni up there after he gave up 6 runs in his worst start of the season, debatably. They're putting up his 2.5 run square as well. So I like both those less thans. Nasty. Not going to be easy, but I will certainly be talking about taking both those squares in some sort of lineup later today.
Could we please not take Eflin?
Well,
please.
We might have to.
Please.
We might have to. I'm already on the first 5 under, so.
What if you use back Ciccone?
I don't know if I could do that, man.
Can I tell you why you shouldn't do that?
Why?
Well, A, because my second player on here is the guards ML. But B, you know what Zach Eflin really struggles with outside of just being a good pitcher?
Struggles against lefties.
Lefties. 347, 14 home runs, 714 slug, and 147 ABs. You know how many righties the Guardians are going to put out there today?
1 or 2.
None. There might be one, but like their lineup, like yesterday and the last, I think, 2 days, no, not a single righty in them. So he'd be very fortunate, I think, to see one. So I think he is going to get tapped today. I think it's going to be the same Eflin that you saw before he got his ghost IL stint. That was really just he's on the IL because I got shoved by the Rays 2 times in 3 starts. So got to give me a little mental break. Maybe it's good for him, maybe not. But I don't know if you can get a worse, similar to Sugano, who has the same type problems, except he's probably even worse of a pitcher. You couldn't ask for, I think, a worse matchup if you're Eflin, which I think this is disaster waiting to happen.
Nick Hennessy said Sissoni went 8.1 in that worst start of the season. Come on now, Krabs. I mean, he gave up the most runs he has all season in a game. So
yeah, that was maybe the weirdest start I've ever seen. It was odd. It's like I don't know why he was still in at that point, especially when they didn't need him to be in. And then he proceeded to like give up turkeys in the 9th and make that game out of reach. It's just that was odd. Yeah, he gave 6
Dude's
runs.
clenching cheeks in the chat. With all this Orioles Eflin talk. Give me some hope here, man.
I really think when Eflin came off the IL the first time, he was still hurt. And we needed arms, and we kind of rushed him. I mean, Jovan's right about the lefties. But, I mean, if he can get back to his consistent form, I don't see why he doesn't pitch well enough in the first 5 at least to give up at least 2 runs, maybe 3.
Could be 4-0.
Could be. I mean, you can't argue that when he's healthy and good that he's a consistent pitcher and belongs in a rotation in the MLB. So I really do think he was still hurt last time. That's why he was moose when he came back. So we'll see. Maybe it was Ghost IL to get his mind right. Hopefully his mind's right, but we'll see. I mean, I know he's a competitor, so I'm not all that confident. I mean, we're absolutely terrible. Like, this series has completely drained my brain. But yeah, it is what it is.
Orioles at that plus 110 number again, Goots.
Yeah, I bet that goes well. Mm-hmm.
It actually does, usually.
Yeah, I guess.
See how it goes today. I don't know. I feel like if the Guardians were that good against, Eflin, or if Eflin was that bad against lefties, and we all know the lineup they're about to put out, why are the Guardians not minus 150 after the first 2 games of the series? But I guess the counter could be, well, it's the O's, and they have the weirdest odds every game. So,
and
weird.
Like Slade Ciccone in that like last start, he was minus 130 against the A's. It's like same thing, better team, I guess.
Yeah. Rowdy, I like those plays, man. Well, I love them. All right, let's move. Let's groove. All right, you want to talk more about your Guardians ML play? I feel like you did not get enough in.
No, I got it all in. Eflin moves versus lefties. He's going to see probably all 9. Ciccone, I think, will be all right too. I think that was an anomaly of a game, little blip that he had against the A's, especially late in the game. And I know the bullpens could be in a better spot, I guess, if you're the Guardians, because they used quite a few arms yesterday. But the Orioles are not in a great spot either, because I think only high leverage wise, Bautista didn't pitch yesterday, and he should be active. Correct me if I'm wrong, Goots. But other than that, some arms got used yesterday as well. So late in the game, still probably give the edge of the Guards.
All right. That play scares the living shit out of me. Not going to lie. It does. Let's talk about the A's, because we're both on the A's late night. About 30 cents of steam against Patty C. This should go well. I both fading Patty C. JP Sears coming off of a moose shit outing. I want to back him. He's got some scores up there that make me think he's going to be okay today. And look, the Rangers, I know they're starting to get going here. They're starting to score. They're starting to win games, but I'm not afraid of fading this offense a time or two, especially after they scored 13 runs in the last 2 games combined in this series. So could be a good time to fade the Rangers bats. They could show up a little bit fat, happy, complacent tonight. And I love seeing the A's, who are playing like dog shit right now, catching all this steam and almost back to, plus 115 on the ML, which in my opinion, looking at the starters, looking at the lineups, looking at the momentum, the line should be moving the other direction. It should be closer to that plus 150 opener we saw. So looks like one of the sharper plays of the day on the diamonds. I'm taking the bait. I'm taking the late night A's.
100%. I'm with you. And for whatever reason, like, I don't buy against the stuff too often, but JP Sears, for God knows what reason. And I remember, like, historically, I've definitely faded him a couple times because of it. He just dices this lineup, and he has for like the last couple of years. I don't know why. I don't know why he has the type of success that he does. He's just such a weird pitcher. And I know a lot of that probably this year has to do with the fact that the Rangers offense has been god awful, and they're starting to pick it up a little bit, but he's just diced this offense and diced this team. I don't know why. He matches up well, I guess, with some of these guys on the surface, but he just outperforms expectations time after time again. This is like, I think, the 3rd time he's going to be seeing them this year. So will he pitch as dominant as he did the first 2 times? Probably not. But Patrick Corbin's also facing the A's after, like, the first times he faced them, the A's were in their like mega slump, I think, right at the beginning of it, where this lineup is like profiled to hit lefties well. They weren't really doing it at the time. Now they're starting to get back up and get hot in that realm again. Even some of their lefties, like Nick Kurtz, is obviously seeing beach balls, and he's lefty. Lawrence Butler really bad against lefties his entire career, but he's starting to hit them better this year as well. Just had a leadoff home run against DeGrom yesterday too. Electric, starting to get hot, but I think this offense sets up so much better against left-handed pitching now. And if we know anything about that park, all it takes is a little bit, because chances are, I don't know, it's a repeat matchup of like the same game that was 2-1, I think, last time out when it was Sears versus Corbin. So I've been noticing some of those totals tend to go the opposite way, at least in the first 5 when we see a repeat matchup. But in that stadium with the Rangers involved, it's probably somehow going to be 2-1 in the 7th inning. So maybe all it takes is a Bangalores 2-run gag, and we're sitting pretty going into the late innings where Mason Miller can be used for one of the first times in fucking years, it feels like. So taking him late night.
Yep. I'll be right there with you. A's on the ML, fading Patty C. It's got that weird run score up there on Prize Picks. Should be a good look. Hope it is. I think it is. Always startles me a little bit. Fade Mr. Patty C, but have to do it.
It was interesting watching that masterclass from the seats. I was getting bricked, Krabs. They're literally, no joke, they were calling Cole Hamels and the crowd. It was insane. It was great.
Pretty good comp, although we'll see. He's starting to waver a little bit, but he's had a couple bounce back starts, and his last 2, I think, have been solids after a pretty mid-month. But we'll see. I would love for that comp to come to fruition a little bit, although not tonight, of course. But maybe he's got a little Cole Hamels in him. Maybe he redevelops and rediscovers his career later on and has a pretty good close to it. Would love to see it. Maybe he just feels a little bit more comfortable pitching under this president. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, it's probably
a lot of questions need to be asked.
So many questions.
Yep. Jesus Sanchez, I fucking bet he hits a nuke after we took him this week. He didn't do shit. I bet. All right. Yeah, there you go. Straight locks. Of course, when we need him most, he doesn't do squats. And then today he hits a Nukenheimer. Yep. Sure we can. SBR may never tweet again. Poor SBR, man. How about Soroka going exactly 17 outs, by the way, when he had that weird 16.5 pitching out square? He gets yanked immediately after he goes more than. How do they know?
Yeah, those bumps on pitching outs when they end like middle of the inning, it's just always right there. It's insane.
How do they know? Like, as a baseball guy, like, I know a lot about the sport. How the hell do they know exactly how long these guys are going? How do they know when they're going to get pulled? I can't even think of a reason.
It's crazy.
It's impressive. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, Nats, hang around. We got a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel going on in D.C. right now. Sure we can. See if they can put up a couple. Who do you guys got for a World Series matchup as of right now? Kyle's asking. Well, I'd probably go. Let me pull up some World Series matchups here real quick, but I'd probably go a team that nobody's still talking about, the Phillies. Their bullpen certainly worries me. I'd love to see what they do in for the trade deadline. I still feel like that's a team that nobody believes in, a team that I could definitely buy some stock in right now when people think they suck. I don't know, Jovan, you have any World Series takes?
I mean, I'm always standing on the Phillies from preseason, so that's my NL team for sure. AL is a little murkier because the AL is so difficult because, again, like the July run is the kiss of death. When you look at pretty much any team right now in the AL that's not the Tigers, they're all on the crazy July run, or at least like going into the All-Star break. They were super hot. Like Blue Jays were there, Astros were there, even like the Red Sox were there. I don't really know who stands out as much.
Yeah, I'd probably go Astros. And I'd probably go Phillies. Although things are starting to feel a little weird with this Mets team. You think they got enough pitching to maybe make a run? You think these veteran arms start losing a little bit of aura as the season goes on?
I kind of think the pitching is going to fall off a little bit, which is not saying much because like it's been good. It's just, I don't know, something feels off in a bad way, I think, for the Mets to me. It's like you're starting to dip into the Lindor super cold streak, which again, like it's not even August yet. So like it happening now is, I guess, better than it happening come late August and September. But I don't know. Everything's really weird right now, and it's not making me feel any less confident in the Phillies. Like, the Phillies have not been impressive at all. Like, any Phillies fan is bitching 24/7 about this team. They're in fucking first place right now, and
Yeah.
I think we can all agree. Like, the pitching has
Sneaky
been
quiet first place.
sneaky quiet first place when nothing you hear about the Phillies is anything other than bitching.
Kyle Burnt said, I know you guys don't want to hear it. You're right, I don't. But kind of think it's the Yankees. It'll be interesting to see when everyone kind of writes them off after Soto left. They're still the Yankees. They still have Aaron Judge. Who's writing them off? Nobody.
Yeah.
The AL
I mean,
sucks as well.
They're the World Series favorite in the AL. Like, I don't
Nobody's
really
writing
think
them off.
anybody's writing them off. They're
stink right
colder.
now. Yeah, people still love them. They're the Yankees.
It's just the talk. The talk of the town is all of the teams that are on crazy winning streaks or close to it in the AL, which is in the playoff race, everybody but them.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I'm sure they'll go out and get some guys, in the before the trade deadline. Derek Jeter said it on TV, so it's got to be true, right?
I don't even know if they're going to I think people are severely overestimating how many guys are going to be available at this trade deadline. Like, this is a seller's market for a reason. Like, Joe Ryan not going anywhere. A lot of top names that you think are getting traded, probably not getting traded.
I mean, I'd say there's more arms than bats. So if you need arms, I think bats are going to swindle some trades in there to help. Yeah, bats going to be at a premium. O'Hearn might be the best one.
Literally might be, yeah.
Unless Duran gets traded.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Which I put like a 10% chance on that. So
there'd be a riot in Boston.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, Cabrera might be too expensive now, like Billy the Kid's saying. But I don't know. He has control for like 4 more years.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm just not seeing it with this Yankees team now. I don't know if you saw the interview. We haven't even talked about it, but a Boone on John Boy yapping at the John Boy guys, saying they were asking the wrong questions or something, and he just seemed like he was very on edge. Interesting.
Pressure's on.
Yeah. He was like yelling at them, saying we do a really good job of keeping the blinders on and not overreacting while he was overreacting. It was the weirdest thing. Typical Yankee. Just can't look himself in the mirror and have good, what's the word? Self-awareness, I guess.
I will say, though, I think it's super cool that he goes on there every week. Like, he signed a contract with them, so like he has to do it. But the fact that he's even doing it in the first place is honestly kind of sick, especially that you're the manager of the most scrutinized team in baseball, going on a podcast every week to get grilled by fans of your own team, pretty much.
Well, I think it's pretty stupid. How about that?
You imagine, Krabs, imagine if Davey Martinez did that every week.
You know what I'd be saying? I'd be saying our team sucks. Why is he spending time going on a podcast instead of figuring out how to win games?
Like, you're talking through, he's like answering all the questions that you were sitting here asking and bitching about every single day about the Nats.
Get back in the office. Get to work.
It's just unbelievable.
Enough of these pods, enough of these docs, enough of these tweets.
Imagine if you had
field, help your team win.
You had Nats fans interviewing him, asking why fucking that early in the season, why Josh Bell's getting ABs.
Yeah.
Or why Bobby Barrels.
Stupider than I already do because he's now the greatest hitter in baseball. So.
Exactly. You could have known the vision before it happened.
We don't talk about Josh Bell enough, folks.
Dude, he's seeing him.
And in perfect Nats fashion, benched in the middle of his hottest streak. Literally carrying the offense, benched. I get it.
Now
it's a lefty.
Getting bageled. Bageled through 6.
Yeah, I just don't get it, man. Like, let's stick to the plan and let's bench Luis Garcia against the lefties if you're going to do that shit. And then you could play Ahmed there. Ahmed does have a hit. He's 1 for 2. Shit. I was about to say, let me go check out his goose egg real quick, but he does have a hit. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be crazy when the Nats trade him again, which is the gift that keeps on giving. That's what I was telling the boys before BTL today. He was in the Soto trade as collateral. We'll probably be in a trade coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully we can get something out of him. Stay hot, Josh. Please. It's kind of fucked up that, the better you do, the better chances you just get moved. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he wants as well. Go play on a contender at the end of his career. He's always been a good locker room guy. Good guy, Josh Bell. It's just
I don't even know
sometimes he really sucks.
Where he would go.
Yeah. I don't know either. Some team that needs a DH.
Sneak him to Boston.
Some team that could use a DH. Yep. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. We need a massive trade for content that Krabs can't comment on. Yeah, Richie, you're not wrong.
Dude,
you're not wrong. It's going to happen while we're on the show next week, too. That's when it's going to happen.
Begging. You see massive trade, that might be the greatest moment in BTL history. Krabs can't talk about it.
It's coming. Yep. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. We got some prize pick squares to talk about here, folks, real quick. And then we're going to get to our squad ride votes. I think Krabs would sack up and pay the $50 to talk about it. You're not wrong, Big Bat.
It'd be every mention, though. So every time
excitement.
That, like, if you go on a rant, that's like a rack.
Okay.
A long rant, it's going to be rack.
There's going to be like a meter on the screen.
Every Nats mention. Every time you say Nats, every time you say a player.
Yeah, I can get a Nats counter up mood. Every time you say it, it'll just be on the screen somewhere.
I might need to start a GoFundMe, boys. I might not be able to make it through the week. Christ. I need some help.
I mean, a huge Nats trade is like Jose Ferrer to the Dodgers. Like, come on. You really got to talk about that.
2019, kiss my ring.
You really got to talk about that.
Kiss it.
1983, kiss my ring.
Still shining, kiss it.
1983, he says.
Just -20. Oh, Goots, bless your hearts. And bless the O's hearts. They need it. All right. Also, has anybody ever fired an interim manager? Because I feel like the O's should probably make that move. This guy might be worse. Can him and Miguel Cairo, a little package firing here? A little DMV package firing?
He is much better. He's not the long-term option, but he's much better. He actually knows how to make a lineup card.
Ooh.
Which I could do in my sleep.
I'm sure you could, Goots. Goots, let's not kid ourselves. You could probably manage just as good, if not better than this guy.
I could.
Come on.
I could.
Come on. Goots was still in Paul Sack back in 1983.
I would have certainly drafted the Miz. What happened?
The way you're already going over your hypothetical drafts.
Yeah, we should have drafted the Miz. We drafted some moose shit pitcher 23 picks before he was taken.
Yep.
I would have certainly had scouts on the Miz.
Yep.
Cutes would have had scouts. Okay. Scoundreling.
Well, it looks like one of the squares I brought up is already gone, I bet.
Legit.
You've got to be kidding me.
Gee, fuck.
Already locked it in, too. I wonder why it moved. Oh, God. I'm going to check.
Taking a look right now.
Yeah, why don't you peep the juice on Green Book if you can for me while I give these sell jobs.
Juice is...
I do like some runs. What?
See, minus 115 to the over, but minus 120 to the under. I don't know why it's off board.
That's not good. That's not good, folks. Maybe they just don't want that freebie square up there then. Shit. Okay. Bryce Harper ain't scoring a run today. Although it's not like you guys can even take that square because it's gone. It's gone. So let me talk about JP Sears. Relatively red in his last couple starts. I think he goes out there and gives them 6 strong. I'll take the more than 15.5 pitching outs here for JP Sears. Late night game. We already love the A's against the Rangers. We're fading the Rangers bats in the spot. If they don't score, or if they score, our bet's chalk. So we need an under type script. And if we have an under type script, I like our chances of JP Sears out there for 6th, or at least to get, an out in the 6th inning. If that happens, then we're in business here. So JP Sears, who, by the way, minus 130 to the over last time I checked before BTL. I like his more than pitching outs on prize picks. Who the hell wants to take that after how he's been pitching of late, especially against the Rangers, who, like somebody in chat said, they've scored the most runs in baseball this month. Not a lot of people. I'll back JP, and I'll back the A's.
Yeah. No off day, too, tomorrow. They got a 4-game series in Houston, and yesterday they pulled JT again when he was dealing after 58 pitches through 5, which I know he's a converted reliever, but seemed a little quick. So I assume the plan is to let JP roll as long as possible.
Okay. All right. Let him go. They might not have a choice from what it sounds like.
I don't know what to do.
Okay. Yeah, guys, Dylan Cease is just bad. I think it's time to just accept it. He's just bad at baseball.
Really bad.
Crazy how he's fallen off. Yep. All right. I want to hear Jovan sell jobs on his squares. What are you cooking up, my man?
Jonathan Cannon, bad pitcher. Really bad pitcher.
Yep.
Somebody's got to get the boys up and moving. I think it's Aranda today.
Yep.
Cannon's just been god-awful against both sides of the plate, but especially lefties. And he's sinker slider heavy, and he's given up like his fair share of nukes, but he really struggles against lefties that are able to use all fields and just slap line drives to really anywhere where it's pitched too. So I think this is going to be right in Jonathan Aranda's wheelhouse today, which is probably why I think for the first time, maybe ever, like it's usually like Yandy, Bilal Jr., in whatever order, top of like the odds for pretty much everything. Like Aranda's ahead of everybody in most things today, outside of like Brandon Lau is on the IL now, so not playing. So he's ahead of the other two guys. But his odds are incredibly weird. This square, I guess, looks incredibly weird too. If you're just looking at prize picks, it's a little odd. I think he has an extra base hit in his future today, and it's probably a double line down the line because that's where he gets a lot of his work done against pitchers like this. So I have to take it. And then Shea Bangaliers, noted owner of the Texas Rangers franchise, which every time he goes to Texas, he tends to have one big game. I remember, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, he had like 3 home runs in a game, but he usually doesn't leave Texas without one crazy game in there, and he hasn't really had one yet. I think now's the perfect time against Patty C., who's not only a lefty, but he loves his biggest success point for a lot of these last couple starts, and I guess all season, is just pitching guys in. We know very well Shea Langoliers, if you don't quite get it on his hands, he will pull it, and he will pull it for power, which when Patty C hasn't gotten those in against a lot of these power righties, he's still been getting the ball hit very, very hard off of him. And sometimes he's been lucky. Sometimes it's been the bad starts where he's actually given up damage off of it. I think he's hanging one to Shea Langoliers today, and probably to some of the top of that lineup that I think is going to be given the platform today. So you're probably going to get a Shea RBI base hit if he's not just taking it himself and hitting it for a nuke. So I had no choice but to take Bangaliers.
All right. Well, I already locked it in. Pretty blown that the Harper Square got taken off, but if the juice is pretty even, might be a good thing for our wallets.
Could be back
that got
on.
taken off. So are people saying it's back?
Is
Maybe
it
they
back?
just took it off for a second during some lineup shit. I'll check here in a sec. I'll drop the link to the Sharp Report 4-man in the Twitch chat if you guys want to get involved.
Howitzers, I like that. I like that over. That was close to making the card. I didn't feel like I earned that one though. But Turkey Taj on mound after 2 really good starts against the Orioles and Red Sox. He's going to spawn with the fucking 2 unicorn home runs given up to the bottom of the White Sox order. It's just what he does.
Yep. Yeah. Also, not seeing that Harper Square back up, so I think it's gone. Gee, fuck. All right. Let's get to work. W Pickett Pro, W Goots. Sure you can. Any games we have not mentioned yet? I guess we could talk real quick. Max Fried versus Bassett. Yankees versus Blue Jays. I like the over in this game. I don't think I have the sack to bet it, though.
Yeah, that one's either going to be incredibly telling or not even going to sniff total. 8.5 with those 2 guys seems weird, for sure.
Okay. I agree. I think it seems weird as hell. Bassett's got that weird square on Prize Picks. It's super, super reds. He typically pitches great against the Yankees, but even that has my attention. Makes me want to maybe take the more than on that. So I like runs in that game. What about any other later games we have not mentioned yet? Not really.
I think we've mentioned a lot of the later ones. I guess we've mentioned every single night one because we have either a play or we just talked about Rays and Yanks games.
Yep. Any thoughts on Walter versus Fott?
My head would certainly love to go back to Fott, but after getting involved with his last masterclass, probably sit that out.
Okay. What about?
Kind of think the Mariners
Priester.
winning.
You think the Mariners win again?
Yeah. Take the series.
Okay. You like Castillo, ML against Priester, who has low-key been kind of solid. He's 8-2 this season. What the hell?
Yeah. I
8-2.
think it'll be a marginal game. Don't think he necessarily gets rocked, but I think Castillo outduels him.
Okay. Maybe a little Mariners ML this
Yeah.
afternoon. I can get involved now that the streak is over from Milwaukee. Maybe we see him drop 2 in a row. Okay. All right. I'm hearing a Trout nuke in the chat. Sure we can.
Shout out Trout.
Yeah, any thoughts on Palante versus Gordon?
Not too much. I know that this is, I guess, I don't know how this technically works, is there's a push in there, I think, yesterday, but
Yep.
if you don't see an over in the first 2 Coors games, what do you do the third one? It's probably going over. I did think it was pretty interesting too. I guess not so much on Tanner Gordon's side because like his leash is not as long as Palante's is going to be, but like usually I can't remember. I can only count on the number of my hands, I guess, times where I've seen a guy open at 3.5 earned runs in Coors, and it hasn't been the Rockies pitcher, which is really interesting that Palante was the first one, but it's kind of make me think the Rockies score off them again, and we see Turks both ways, outside of the fact that we really haven't in the first 2 games of the series. So in all likelihood, I wouldn't be shocked if we see a classic Coors game.
Yeah, this could be where we squeak in and over. Certainly would not mind that.
Okay. Those RBI squares and Coors have been printing too, Krabs.
Yeah.
There is another. Somebody just brought it up. Alec Burleson is up for God knows what reason.
Weird.
He also has
that.
His only hit run RBI option that he has on the board is a Demon 6.5.
Any Mickey Moniac squares up?
Yeah, I think so. Using Trent's Dukenheimer of the day.
Yeah, greatest hitter of all time.
Yeah. There's a run square that Krabs probably wants to fade, especially knowing that Trent has him in his entry of the day, lineup of the day.
I'm pairing that right now with I'll keep it simple. I'll go Sassoni less than our runs allowed.
Shot Goods.
Thank you, Goods. Good. And then I'm going to take Eflin more than. Yep, you thought you were going to get away with it. Nope. Eflin less than 2.5 runs allowed. Excuse me.
Dude,
Jesus.
no way we
Eflin
squeaked that in
less
there,
than.
Krabs.
Eflin less than with Burleson. RBI.
No way we squeaked
Great
that
lineup.
Thank you, Goods. I agree.
It's just unbelievable.
I agree. Well, Burleson RBI and Eflin less than 2.5 runs allowed. Yep. Already locked. Nothing we could do at this point, folks. Sit back, kick the feet up, relax, and enjoy the show.
It's just horrible.
Yep.
It's just horrible.
Yep, probably, but I locked it in. We'll see how it goes.
No Burleson 6.5 HR.
What? Demon?
That's literally search Burleson, Krabs. It's the only hit run RBI square that is offered for him.
6.5.
It's a 6.5 Demon. That's what I was saying.
I mean,
He's got the only regular RBI square in the game. That's
what the hell, dude.
He hasn't had one all series.
Well, shit. I feel pretty good about that 2-piece then, folks. I know Eflin's doing job. Sounds like Burleson's doing job too. Knock on wood. All right. Sure. All right, let's hop in because I do believe we have a Surge stream later today. So I want to make sure we end on time. Let's go ahead and get to it, Gucci. If you don't mind, run that train. I'm trying to see that shit. Sure we can. All right. L Squad ride last night, but let's bounce back. Let's cash one of these puppies tonight, please. I feel like we got to put the athletics in here. We both are on them. No need to overthink that one. Let's put them in.
Yeah. Knock on wood. Those have also gone pretty well as of recent too, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Now, what are we going to do about the Guardians, man?
I mean,
because you know it's about to happen. Yesterday, we kept out the Marlins game because we both had different plays. Both plays hit. If we do that today and put one of them in, you know, that shit's better lose after we flip-flop. So do we just stick to the game plan and keep that game out?
I mean, yeah.
It worries me once we flip, then we're gonna get shafted.
Yeah, and I would say that's probably Tigers' play of yesterday. Not that I think it's cake, but it's definitely my least confident, I would say, out of the three.
Okay. Let's see what's good with this Red Sox team total. It feels right.
It does. I really wish, because I mean, it's creeping up juice wise, like minus 140. I wish we could get 4.5 plus check.
Well, we don't run the books, unfortunately.
I know,
Got to play the cards we're dealt.
but I think it's green either way. Special tingling in the plums for that one.
All right, we're putting it in then. I like it. If there was even a single book that had it at 4.5, I'd think about maybe putting that in here, but there's not a single one that's at 4.5 yet. So
I know.
Got to play the cards we're dealt out here, folks. And right now it's 3.5 team total for the Sox. Okay. That Twins and Dodgers first 5 under is hitting. Now, is it too early? It does start up in 4:10 Eastern.
Yeah, that's doable. Also, daytime doyers. So if anything,
Fade those bats.
Plays into what you want.
I think. Am I seeing 4.5s now though for that? Hold on. Yeah, shit. Well, I mean, I still like it at 4.5. We just don't have that push potential at 5, but let's put it in there. Let's go 3 plays, 3 winners, 3-minute poll. 3 plays, 3 winners, 3-minute poll. Get involved, chat. If you're watching on the YouTube, that's awesome. I appreciate you. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you're subscribed.
Krabs,
please get your ass over to the Twitch chats. Please.
Lindor just singled. I bet.
No shot. He already singled, Jovan. Jesus
I literally
Christ.
bet. Shit's unbelievable, man.
Had a single square up there.
Single square. For his last 30. They always know, dude. It's unbelievable.
Actually incredible. Chat, 3 plays, 3 winners. Get those votes in, please. And yeah, I do believe we have these surge streams starting up right after this. So get those sell jobs ready. Get them primed. Get them loose. We're going to need them. Okay? Get those sell jobs ready. Rando said he's nuking the squad ride. Sure. Get those votes in, chat. Get them in. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Get those votes in. Something we didn't talk about enough. Erods had a vintage performance last night. I know they did not win. But Erod looked really good last night against the Astros. Good for him.
Yeah, he did shove.
Not a lot of people needed that more than Erod. I'll tell you that much. It's good to see him go out there and compete. You know?
Yeah.
W. Ron, W.S. D'Amico. Appreciate you guys lurking in the chat. Appreciate all the guys coming in here, dropping follows as well. Draco, the high guy, Way Too Slime. SRTH40. You guys are goated. Thank you for dropping follows. We are live on YouTube as well. Okay. Nats come back. I'm gifting 20 subs. Zach, I'm going to hold you to that. It is already the top of the 8th, though. It's starting to smell like a shutout for the Nats. I'm not going to lie. It's starting to smell like a shutout, folks. Yep. And that would suck. All right. Get those votes in. Hurry up. Go, go, go. But I think we all know what the squad ride is going to be tonight, and that's perfectly fine. The Athletics on the money line.
Let's go.
We're getting a majority of the votes. A little consensus quake going on here. Rant dope. I appreciate you, Beast. Krabs, when the PLL lines come out, they should already be out, Rowdy, on the green book and the blue book. They should already be out, my man.
Don't let those Muckage get swept if you need some plays.
Wow. Do not let it get swept. And now the Reds have first and third at 1 out because Jackson Rutledge pitched on Team USA when he was 16, and now that somehow correlates to him still being on our team. He's terrible. He's terrible.
Red
we
Sox.
get the sweats up and moving. I cannot tonight, Canadian Goods, but tomorrow. I'd be down to get a sweats fired up tomorrow.
Red Sox.
College football 25 action or 26? Excuse me.
Red Sox team total was my fire alarm POD this morning. Unbelievable. Yeah. I haven't been able to sleep well for maybe the last week. Took unbelievable levels of melatonin. Finally got myself to sleep through the night for a bit. Wake up at 5 a.m. to a fire alarm.
Damn. How does that shit go off at 5 a.m.?
somebody did something. I don't know. They still haven't sent us like an email or anything, but it went off at 5 a.m. I'm fucking up.
Cooking shit at 5 a.m. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Somebody was doing something. I don't know, but I woke up to that, was in moose piss. We go outside. We're sitting there for 30 minutes before the fire trucks come and all that shit. I'm labbing Lizardo muckage.
Sure.
Get back in the house, climb in bed, contacts out, head on pillow, goes off again. Another 30 minutes. So I'm just some cat shit. I've been awake ever since.
Okay.
Shit's unbelievable, man. But
well, fire alarm 2-piece.
See if I'm locked with Lizardo getting mucked.
Oh. Well, all right. Athletics ML. We'll see if that can help sweeten the pot here. Improve the day. I like our chances, Jovan. I do. I like our chances. All right. Athletics ML, stick around. We got the Surge stream starting up right now. Please give Trent a sell job that he has to tail. Get involved. All right. And yeah, Fruity also had a crazy story there with the apartment stuff. Stay safe out there, man.
It's crazy.
Stay safe. All right, boys. We'll catch you tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll be.